House fire. Bad one. At least 4 Vicks. Get out there and find out what you can. The address is 650 North Hobart.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Remember the dead lady they found under the train? We solved that case. Booked some bar fly for the murder.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to stop him with 1 round.
The thing was, he was a real nice guy. I felt lousy collaring him.
I didn't want to arrest the kid, so I gave him a death.
You hear about Rancho Escondido?
Are we having a conversation, Biggs?
Okay, fuck it. Forget I.
I'm teasing you, Herschel. Tell me about it.
On the new housing developments, a couple of weeks from completion. Burned to the ground last night. GIs are ready to move in this weekend. Developer's gonna have some very angry customers. Shit about Chet. The arson desk is trying to nail that son of a bitch.
He's still in custody, Herschel.
Wanna bet? They'll have kicked him loose already. Can't hold him for misdemeanor cigarettes and matches.
You can drive.
Any available unit, meet the officer. 211 just occurred at 253 Main Street. Unit to handle code 2, identify.
This is 11K. We'll handle the call at Main Street.
11K, your 211 is at the Bank of Arcadia, 253 Main Street.
Hands off! I'm sick!
Nothing that a night in the tank wouldn't fix, bub. Now, where did they go?
What happened?
2 guys made off with about $1,000 in a paper sack. The Vag says he saw him leave.
I'm right here, you know!
Not much of a witness.
Sir, you need to tell us where they went. Now.
They headed for the parking lot.
Keep it steady and I'll try to bust his tires. Don't go to sleep on me. Get in close. Lay into his wheel well. Come on. Try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck. It's no good. We need to get closer.
Quite a ride you took us on. Get out with your hands up.
him. That's the best we
Can you
do
drive
for
to this
a
one?
police bin in this city.
You guys better see this. I hope you have strong stomachs.
Do you have a name?
Morelli, Mike. We recovered a picture of the family.
Okay. Anything else?
Be honest, I just got here, Phelps. Best you talk to Lynch. He's the expert.
Doesn't make any sense. Why aren't they scattered around like the rest of the debris?
I think they've been moved. Ooh. I think someone moved them after the explosion and before the fire.
Can you explain that, please?
I'm almost positive the cause of death is asphyxiation due to gas inhalation. Look at the parts of their bodies that aren't scorched. The coloring around the fingertips is typical.
They wouldn't have felt a thing.
I think the fire damage is post-mortem. I think someone moved them into this room after the explosion.
It still doesn't make any sense. Why would you run into a burning building?
What are they doing?
Prayer effect is from the fire. The muscles and tendons contract.
You ever think about how many people have died in this world? And how big heaven would have to be to accommodate them bigs?
No, I have not. Show some respect.
It's our boy. I think he watches the fires. I think the Sawyer fire went wrong.
So what about the guy we have in jail, Phelps?
You got the wrong guy.
It doesn't explain why he ran into a burning building. What would make anyone do that?
Guilt.
For the fires?
For his mistake. This guy wants to burn houses, not families. He expects the houses to be empty. He was trying to redeem himself. Probably thought they'd be happier together.
You are one very disturbed individual, Phelps. I know you had it rough lately, but you should start to compartmentalize your thoughts.
He could be right. Can you come up with an alternative explanation?
I'm sure it's the same guy.
Are you telling me that some son of a bitch murdered these people, the whole family, and arranged them here like Cupid dolls?
Might fit, Cole, but I don't think we could ever prove it. There's very little evidence.
Evidence?
Albert, check out the hot water system. Make sure we're dealing with the same MO.
Sure, Phelps. I'll get back to you.
Leave the rest to us, Cole. You better find out what's eating pigs.
This is the flash point. The heater detonated with enough force to expose the foundations. circumstantial. So something finally got to you.
You want my help, pretty boy? You got it. You keep riding me and you won't be pretty much longer.
We can get this guy, Herschel.
You think you've seen everything, Phelps? I was with the 2nd Marines at Bella Wood. Things that went on in that farmhouse. My own guys on fire, screaming for a way out. You're not gonna get this guy. There's gonna be no photos and no citations. We're gonna kill this miserable fuck. End of story. You getting this?
You remember the list from the travel agent?
Sure.
The Morellis were winners too. Their name was on that list.
Christ. We should take a look around, work the neighbors, see what they know. I'll go across the street.
Okay, I'll try this side.
I haven't done this for years.
Excuse me, officer?
You don't look like a fireman, son.
LAPD. Can you tell me anything about the fire next door?
Terrible luck. Imagine after having won that weekend away.
What's your name, sir?
Foreman. Dudley Foreman.
Did you see or hear anything that might have...
Look, we were asleep when we heard the explosion.
And then what happened?
It was like Pearl Harbor with bits of the house raining down. Blew out all of our windows to face the place.
I'll have a patrolman come by and take your statement. Hopefully you'll be a little bit more cooperative with him.
Come on, kid. I'm doing my best here. You were talking about the competition, right? Catalina Island? I've got one of the flyers in the kitchen if you're interested.
You smoke heavily, Mr. Foreman?
No. I never touched tobacco. Why do you ask? What the hell? Those aren't mine.
Any luck, Cole?
A couple of things. What did you pick up?
Folded piece of paper. Looks complicated.
Japanese call it origami. Can I take a look?
Sure.
Paper crane. There's a legend about them. You fold 1,000 of these and you get a wish.
Hey, don't break it.
I'm not. I'm unfolding it. It looks like a waybill or a flyer.
For what?
For Elysian Fields developments.
Oh, I see you already have one.
When did the flyer arrive in your mailbox?
They've been arriving for weeks. This one was in the mailbox when I got home from work yesterday afternoon.
I swear, this town is going straight to hell.
Whoever he was wearing boondockers. I would know that imprint anywhere.
ain't talking, Chief. Try hiring a lawyer.
Show's over. Keep moving, all of you.
He's the cop who arrested that movie. It's about time one of those movie people went to jail. They think they're untouchable.
I need an address for a property developer. Elysian Fields Developments.
One moment, Detective. The address is 748 North Oxford Avenue, Wilshire. Anything else?
Messages, please.
You have a message. Contact Captain McKelty immediately.
Thanks. Can you put me through, operator?
Of course. Here you are.
Commander?
Leads on the Morelli fire.
We're about to go and visit Elysian Fields Developments.
You're about to do what? Leland Monroe? He's a personal friend of the mayor and the chief. Are you out of your mind? I'm warning you, Phelps.
Commander, we have a line of inquiry.
You have something, you bring it to me. You're hanging by a thread, Phelps. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. Have a report on my desk today.
Kelty has warned us off over Elysian.
Makes sense. It's a dead end. We should check out Rancho Escondido.
You know the place?
Sure. Corner of Fountain and Wilton. Let's go.
Looks like the same model.
How did you get my number, Ira?
At first, I didn't understand you. But now I do.
I'd like you to come back to the clinic.
I'm helping other people now, Doctor.
I think you are confused. You haven't been to the clinic for weeks.
I'm not confused anymore, Doctor. I'm helping people be together.
This world is only temporary. We'll all be happier in heaven.
Why don't you tell me where you are and I can come to you? I think the fires should end now. They have served their purpose.
Oh, the fires are only beginning, Doctor. After the fires, everything will be beautiful and clean.
Everything will be erased. The world will be fresh and new.
I can see my purpose now, Doctor. And you helped me to find it.
Let me through. I just want a quick look is all.
You're behind the wheel.
You know, there are times when you really miss a nightstick. There's more religion in the end of a nightstick than in 100 cathedrals.
I'm not gonna tell you again, sir.
Don't tell me when and how I can come and go on my own property.
It is not
This is
safe,
America, dickhead.
sir. Now step back, or I'll lock you up for
Smart
a fray.
mouth son of a bitch!
Come back here. You're not getting off that easy.
Black and blue.
That's done it, Cole. We're gonna have to pacify these poor guys. You're going. I'm gonna bust you right now.
Don't worry. I'll lay you out quick. Time for you to leave.
Good thing you showed up when you did, detectives. Those folks were baying for blood.
Okay, then. Let's see if there's anything left to take a look at.
Take a leg, Herschel.
Keep your shirt on. Here I come.
You know the way. You can drive.
We are not going to.
Yes, we are. Detectives Phelps and Biggs, LAPD, to see Leland Monroe.
You have an appointment?
We're the police, lady. You don't need an appointment.
Can I tell him what it's about?
It's an official investigation.
There are 2 police officers here to see Mr. Monroe.
Send them through.
And that's our cue. Thanks, ma'am.
May I help you, gentlemen?
We would like to speak to Mr. Monroe.
I'm afraid it's impossible. Mr. Monroe's schedule is booked weeks in advance.
Cut to the chase, sister. Is he in?
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, officer.
So he hired you for your intelligence?
I find that offensive.
You have every right to.
This is getting us nowhere, miss.
Casino.
Would you like us to return with a warrant?
That won't be necessary, gentlemen. Come into my office. You like a cigar? Drink, boys.
Sure, I'll have a scotch.
Biggs. We're investigating a series of domestic fires, Mr. Monroe.
Terrible, boys. How can I help?
Elysian Fields and Suburban Redevelopment Fund flyers keep turning up in the vicinity of the fires.
They're turning up all over town, boys. Can you imagine the current demand for housing?
So that's your explanation, Mr. Monroe? Coincidence?
Explanation? Why, what's to explain? I advertise on radio and billboards for buyers, and I advertise for sellers using waybills.
We found a family burnt out in their home. Another house burned to the ground. Another Elysian Fields flyer. Our information is that they didn't want to sell.
Are you saying that's something to do with me? Is that your point?
Oh, it is. Every time we find a family barbecue, we find one of your flyers. Is that good advertising?
What do you know about a competition for families to win free vacations to Catalina Island?
My company runs many promotions. I'm not familiar with that one.
Two families are dead, Mr. Monroe. This isn't a question of criminal liability. We're looking at conspiracy to commit murder.
Do you know who you're talking to, son? You want to use incendiary language like that with me? I suggest you should leave immediately.
We've made offers to buy houses in areas where fires have been recorded.
Are you suggesting that I'm burning people out of their homes so that I can sell them new ones?
What happens to your plans if a family like the Morellis refuses to sell?
We work around them. Business finds a way. That's the American way.
Come on, Mr. Monroe. You expect me to believe that you would build a new development with one of those old piles smack bang in the center of it?
Progress is an inexorable process, detective. Those who choose to stand in defiance are usually confined to the wastebasket of history. To answer your question, yes, we would build around them if we had to. Most people see sense. The arsonist. Do you have any suspects?
We aren't at liberty to say.
I didn't think so. The contractors I use for waybills. You suppose it could be any of them? I have a list of their names if it would be of any help.
That would be very helpful, Mr. Monroe.
Glad to hear it. I'm always happy to help the LAPD. My secretary will provide you with that list. Did you know that I'm on the board of the police pension fund?
Glad to be of help, officers.
What's the story? Any of these names ring a bell?
Herbert Chapman is on this list.
Find the phone. We need to know where we're at with Chapman.
Someone ought to take him home.
Your boss is a fine man.
Walking out on his wife like that.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Can you check whether we are still holding a Herbert Chapman?
Let me find out for you. He was released this morning, Detective. I'm sorry, Detective.
Not your fault. Can you give me a last known address and put out an APB on the guy?
I'll get back to you, Detective. APB will go out over KGPL shortly.
Thanks for your help.
Whoa! Easy!
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Jesus, Cole. What's wrong with a good old-fashioned black and white? kidding me. We're driving this? Oh, for God's sakes.